Good evening. This is your 10 minutes of plug-in from MBN. I'm your host for today, Ambassador Joyce Murigi, all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. And I just stopped by to tell you that fear is not a good thing. Fear is a killer of dreams. It is a killer of life. But before we go on with the subject, I want to wait and see if there is anyone else who is going to join us. I believe even if you're not able to join us, you're going to watch these broadcasts later on. So feel encouraged. Even when you watch it later on, it will still be as fresh as it was first released. Thank you. Thank you. I'm waiting. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be listening from. This is yours, Ambassador Joyce Murigi from MBN. And I just passed by to have a word to receive from the Lord as He also releases this word to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be listening from. We have been commissioned to go to the ends of the world, and I believe that this broadcast, which is supposed to go out at a time like this, is reaching you from wherever you are. It may be a morning, it may be an afternoon, it may be an evening. Feel encouraged to join us. Thank you. I see I have been joined by someone. Let me just have a look at who is joining. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your 10-minute plug-in from MBN, and I'm your host for today, Ambassador Joyce Murigi. And I would like to go to the word of today, which the Lord has truly put in my heart, because I know that fear is of the devil. Fear is an enemy of progress. Fear is an enemy of dreams. It is a killer of dreams. So I'm going to talk about fear today, and we are going to be guided by the word of the Lord taken from Isaiah chapter 41 and verse 10. This is God speaking to Jacob, who he called Israel. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I'm your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. When I was reading this word, I was asking myself, because there are so many verses talking about fear in the Bible, and it is God telling his people not to be afraid, not to fear, because he is going to be with them. He is going to strengthen them, and he's going to uphold them. And I was wondering, why was really God, cautioning people or encouraging people not to fear the Israelites? And he still continues encouraging us today. And I got an answer. Now, fear, steals our progress. It is a thief. It steals so many good things in our lives, things that make us progress, things that make us live our purposeful lives. And fear is of the devil, and the opposite is of God. Fear is of the devil, and confidence is of God. So I wanted also to speak about the few, types of fears that we have, or we see, or we experience. And these fears maybe we are the ones who have given them names, but that does not still change that it is a type of fear. It is fear. So as I was going through my mind and thinking about different types of fear, I came across about 5 or 6 of them, actually 5. But I know there are very many. You could also go and think about it, think about different forms or types of fear, and you will get a whole list. Maybe you'll even count to 100. But some of them are phobia. Phobia is a type of fear because when you have phobia for something, then it means that you can't confront that thing. You are afraid of something. Maybe you have a phobia for snakes. Maybe you have a phobia for going to enclosures. Maybe you have phobia for getting into lifts and all that. So it stops you from doing certain things. It stops you from even living or going to having experiences which would be exciting. Then there is also fear of the unknown. We fear going into places where we haven't been before. Like even Israelites, they were afraid. They didn't want to leave the land of Egypt. They did not want to go to Canaan, where the promised land, because they would rather have stayed with all the problems they were facing than going into an unknown place. So they were afraid. Maybe it was because they had already seen enough, and then they were wondering, would this other place be better than this? Then we have a stage fright. So the stage fright even causes someone not to go after his purpose or not to use a platform like this. And maybe God intends you to use you in a platform like this, so that you can release. He can use you to release his word to his people, so that they can be set free, so that they can get to know the truth. So when you have a stage fright, or when you fear what people will say about maybe how you appeared or what you are saying, forgetting that it is God who is going to use you. Then, but you know what? That is a weapon of the devil, because he knows the word that you're going to take forth, the word that God is going to release through you to his people. It is going to set people free. It is going to give the truth to the people. So the devil uses that weapon so that he can stop you. So he gives you a fear that we call stage fright. Then we have a fear of missing out. So you find yourself maybe going to places just because you didn't want to miss out. You go to places where you are not supposed to be. And then what happens? You endanger your life, or something happens, and then you live a life of regrets because you got yourself, or you found yourself, or you took yourself to a place where you didn't want to miss out, and something tragic happened. And so that's the fear of missing out. People like to call it FOMO. And then there is a fear of being judged. That one I actually touched when I was talking about stage fright. You don't want to be judged. You fear being judged. You forgetting that it is the Lord who wants you to go there, who wants you, he wants to use you. So it is not about you. If they are going to judge you, let them judge the Lord who has sent you and who has given you a word. So, brethren, my sisters, my brothers, please do not be afraid, because being afraid means that the Lord is also not going to use you. That is going to stop you from living. And God put you in this world so that you can live, and you can live a purposeful life. And then I was looking at what the fear does, or what the fear does, or what it causes in our lives. And I got to know that the fear, like I said, is of the devil, and the opposite is of God. He uses this weapon, and it comes with a very thick shadow of darkness, and it controls us. It controls every move and every decision we make, or we are about to make. So it stops us from making decisions. It causes anxiety. It causes worry. It causes stress. It causes sicknesses, and these are things that the devil wants to use in our lives and to torment us with. Fear steals our focus. when God was telling Jacob, do not be afraid, he wanted Jacob to focus on him because he had promised. And God is not a man that he should lie or he will lie. So this fear steals our focus, so that we cannot rely on God. We cannot focus on our God when he says that I will uphold you, I will strengthen you. Ours is just to focus on those words and believe and have faith that yes, this is going to come to pass because this is God who is talking. So so the fear, basically, then what does it mean? It steals our faith in God. So we are not able to trust in the Lord. Even as he speaks to us, we are not able to really, trust what he's telling us because we are afraid. Fear steals our joy. Then I will also go and tell you that fear steals our reward. Like, look at the Israelites. They had been promised the promised land, land of plenty. They were not going to to have the problems that they faced before they went there, before they went to Canaan. But they were still afraid. So they were not going to go for their reward, because every time that the Lord tells you that, do not be afraid, face your fear and just appear. Go. I have commissioned you to go, because there is a reward attached to your going. There is a reward attached to your bold move. Then if you don't get afraid and you get a reward, you go after your reward, then you're able to finish your journey of life and whatever you're doing, your purpose in this world successfully. Fear steals our power. And how do I know this? In Timothy, we are told in Timothy, 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7, that God did not give us a spirit of fear, but instead he gave us a spirit of power, love, and of a sound mind. So if we have fear, then this fear steals our power. It steals our control of our lives, and it steals our love. We are not able to love because we are engulfed in fear. So we are not able to have control and power over our lives because we are losing focus on God. So God tells us that he did not give us a spirit of fear. Why? Because the spirit of fear comes from the Lord, from the devil. And then the spirit of confidence and the spirit of power, love, and of a sound mind comes from God. Look, the opposite of fear is exactly what God is telling us, that I did not give you the spirit of fear. This comes from the devil. I gave you the spirit of power, love, and of a sound mind. That is totally opposite of the fear. Then when you have power, you have love, you have sound mind, you are able to go about your life without any hindrances, with a lot of confidence, and knowing that God is on your side. And also fear. And I also ask myself, why did God tell the Israelites not to be afraid? Because he actually wanted them to go there and to get to the promised land, to get his reward. I say that. And what happens also, that you have to confront, you have to go to war, whether it is physical or spiritual. God just wants you to go, and then he is going to do the rest. So keep focus in him and on his word and on his instructions, what he said, that I will go before you, I will go with you, I will be there with you in the battlefield. And whether it is spiritual, whether it is physical, so long as you believe in him, he is surely going to go with you, and he's going to be with you. We have learned a lot about God's presence, that God's presence is when we know that he is with us at all times, good times and bad times, during anxieties, during the tribulations. And when we know and we are sure that God is with us, then we are able to live our lives in full, and we are able to go along our lives with a lot of confidence. So what happens when we do not fear? When we do not fear, we control our lives, we gain confidence and focus. This is about, faith. When we gain confidence and focus, it's all about faith. The devil will not have any space to control us and or even throw darkness at us. We will grow. We are going to progress. We will be able to love in a free environment. We will fulfill our purposes. We will live healthy lives. We will entrust our lives in the Lord. We will give him our now and our future. We will give him our tomorrow. We will understand that God is of now and he is the Lord of in between, and he is the Lord of our future. It reminds me, and I'm going to give an analogy of like an aeroplane or flying. When you're taking a flight, there are many people who have a fear of flying, but you know what? Having fear of flying does not stop the aeroplanes or aircraft from flying. So what does that mean? That you having fear does not stop others from living. Things we will still, go on. Your fear will still from you, maybe a reward that you are going to get from that destination where you are going. Maybe God was sending you to a foreign land where actually he would connect you with your destiny helper, or he would connect you with your blessing. But because you fear flying, then that you miss that out on that opportunity that God was going to give you a blessing, maybe a blessing that was going to turn around your time, or rather your life. So you fearing to fly does not stop an aircraft from flying. It does not stop from others from going on and going and reaching their destinations. It does not stop others from going after their rewards and getting them, but it stops you from going after your reward and stops you. Then I am also, reminded that there are many of us who that we need to actually keep trusting in the Lord, because like I said, he is the God of now, in between, and our destinations. He is going to be with us, and we should not be afraid. He's going to be with us now, in between, as we fly. What you just need to do is to get onto that aircraft and surrender to God. Give that journey to God, give that flight to God, and then have peace, sleep peacefully. And by the time you wake up, you will find yourself on the other side in that foreign land where where maybe your blessing is going to come from. So faith help, or rather fear, not fearing, helps us to have confidence and keep trusting in the Lord. So I want to tell you, my brothers, my sisters, please do not have fear, because it will stop you from living. It will stop you from having so much faith in God. It is going to stop you from getting your reward. It is going to help to stop you from growing. So I want to thank you right now for listening, for tuning in, and I want to say that remain there. Do not fear. Be fearless, and God is going to come through your life. He is going to give you a reward. He is going to come through your life in ways that you have never imagined. So be encouraged today. Do not be afraid, but have confidence in the Lord. Trust him. Give your life to him, and let him do everything else pertaining to that life of yours, or pertaining to your life. God bless you. May he be good to you. May he keep you. I love you. God loves you, and I mean it. Thank you, and God bless you. See you at the top. It was nice having you on board. It was nice having you in the house. And I know that you have been encouraged, because you are not going to stop living because of fear, but you are going to confront life with confidence and hope and faith in God, trusting God at all times. Give your life to God and let him take control. Do not let fear take control. Fear is of the devil. When you allow fear, you allow the devil to take charge of your life. Thank you, and God bless you. See you.